This initial chart basically lays out some general information about TAB. Our mission has not changed. We still spend much of our time talking about, thinking about, helping to work with the staff on communications and telecommunications matters. From an operational point of view, as you've been able to observe tonight, we're definitely involved in the operation of Doylestown TV, and we have in the past spent time working on cable franchise negotiations. The good news on this chart is that we are at full strength. In the course of 2016, we got ourselves up to 5 members, and actually there's a way you could read this chart. There's actually 6, because when David Louston joined the group, he actually brought his wife with him. They're both accomplished videographers and have gone to work to help us create videos. So that's all very good news. I would also say to Kathy Brown and John, we actually did send a crew to Fido Float. They're called the Roving Reporters. They're 2 young boys who did the thing in Kids Castle some time ago. We had hoped that they would have come back with a video of the same quality that they did the first time, but their schoolwork has gotten away, and at this point we have nothing back from them. So this time we'll have to send a different, next time we'll send a different crew. 2016 was actually a very good year. You heard the first part of it, which is that we got to full staff. A couple other really good things happened, and just 2 months ago we managed to get a whole lot of our programs that have been sitting in the library for a long time and which are occasionally shown on Doylestown TV. We got them up on the township website, which means that anybody who goes to the township website and hits that bright yellow video button in the upper right hand corner is taken to a library of all the programs that we produced ourselves. At this point there's 44 programs up there, and in the first 8 weeks 330 of those shows have been looked at. Wow. Of the 330, 142 were from the senior task force, 110 were medical in nature, meaning they were associated with Doylestown Health or were part of the opioid addiction program we're on, 40 for township related information, 23 on environment, though I'm missing 84 views of the native garden video, which were up on the site when it was private and didn't get counted in this number. So I think this is off to a pretty good start. The really important part of this is that this expands the reach of any programs that we create beyond the borders of Doylestown Township. Anybody can watch this stuff anywhere in the world. So what we're going to have to do is find some way to market it a little better so people know it's there. But it is definitely there, and I invite you all to go and take a look at it. Board of Supervisors web streaming has been there for quite a few years. Still 4,800 sessions looking at that. I only account for 24 of them, getting the agenda twice a month. But still pretty strong, but down a little bit from the prior year. Social media, Facebook likes, Twitter followers, again, the percentage growth is pretty high, but the numbers are relatively small, 2,000 and 1,600. But when you add in Kids Castle and Dog Park and the sites that they have, in fact, Doylestown Township is second only to Doylestown Borough in this general region. And everyone else is a distant third. We also have the Google group, which I don't have the statistics on right now. We also made a lot of progress in terms of video content that we produce ourselves. Not only did we produce more, which I'll talk about in a minute, but we got more of it on the air. So we have spent for our broadcast day, which is 18 hours from 6 a.m. in the morning till 12 midnight, we are trying to get ourselves to the point where that is, the bulk of that is video programs as opposed to billboards and signboards. This year we achieved 74% on average, which is up 7% from the prior year. and we peaked out at 83%. One of the biggest variability in this is when we have a 30-minute Board of Supervisors meeting and when we have a 2.5-hour Board of Supervisors meeting. The statistic goes all over the place, but still on average we're coming up to 74%. As I said, we had more programs, and we adopted a new technique for scheduling, which has been able to help us put more programs onto the schedule. I think I talked to you last year about trying to do that in some organized fashion, and there are parts of the day that are devoted to seniors and parts of the day that are devoted to parks, parts of the day that are devoted to Board of Supervisors. So we're trying to build some repetition into when we put things on the air so people know when to go and look at it. And I'm only describing what goes on in the television station. People can get the stuff on web on demand. New programs included a public meeting that absolutely filled this room up, opioid awareness. There was a panel discussion that occurred on October the 12th, and we finally got that up and on the air, and it's available on the website. We developed a whole new series of videos with Doylestown Health. We have a guy goes out and he follows the Walk with a Doc program and shows all of the information that occurs in the beginning of that. We did a number of Who We Are, What We Do programs, were hosted by Stephanie. We did the roads department, code and the fire marshal, so forth and so on. We also did a program that focuses on this mural that's in the back of this room, which has a very interesting history. There's a 10-minute video that's now out, which talks about what all the scenes are in that mural, how it came to be on this wall, and then we got in a car and rode around like nuts, and we went to the actual sites, and so we've interspersed the mural with pictures of the sites as they actually exist today. And it's a pretty interesting video, and it's had quite a few looks up on the web. And we are doing new things with the Senior Task Force and Stormwater and EAC. I'm happy to say the Comcast franchise renewal negotiations are done. We don't have to talk about it anymore, and we got the money. Yay. So all that's very positive. And we agreed to, in the future, to participate in the consortium for the 2018 negotiations with Verizon, so we won't have to be quite as involved in that. Technical operations, where there's always something to fix or upgrade. I don't know if you noticed, but we had somebody sitting in the back of the room tonight with headphones on.
We did notice.
And
we've heard about it for a long time.
We've heard about it for a while, but they actually worked.
Did it work?
They worked, and
Yay.
he liked it.
Good.
Yeah.
So
Good.
that was one new thing we've just done. And those of you who use your cell phones in this room to go to the internet, you've had service for a couple of years, but the rest of this building did not. Well, we extended it throughout the building during the course of this year. 2017. Perhaps the biggest thing that faces us is the move. We are going to have to develop a plan for how to operate in temporary quarters, and we're also going to have to develop what sort of system we will have when the new building is completed. The timing is fortuitous because the timing for the new building is particularly fortuitous because we have been saving money over the course of a number of years to finance a replacement for when the current generation of equipment expires. And lo and behold, it all comes out about at the same time, and we have saved sufficient money that we will be able to make that contribution when the moment comes. Combination of savings from our budgets as well as the grant money that we get from Verizon and Comcast. So that will take a fair amount of effort. It's going to have us pretty well occupied for the first 6 months of this year because this system will be dismantled. Portions of it will go one place, other portions will go other places, and we're going to have to figure out how we operate in the meantime. We are also going to continue our focus on content. I guess I myself, and I think other people on the committee are believers in locally produced, sourced videos. We're thinking it might be helpful at some point to put a video together that explains the renovation project that we're on, that in fact maybe takes pictures of the ceiling tiles and the other things in this building that are kind of not in good shape, and put the whole story together and make it available for when the residents call in and say, why are we doing this? Here's a 10-minute explanatory video. So that's something that we've had in mind for a while, and it's probably now timely.
I nominate Dave Tomko for the inauguration of his video.
There you go.
Sounds like a perfect contribution to the time capsule for the bicentennial as well.
What it looked like.
Funny you should mention that, because I think we have bicentennial on here as D. Yes, the fourth one down. Who we are, we'll continue the Who We Are series. We'd dearly like to do something on the bike and hike trails, more than an overview, but also individual sections. We've talked about it for a long time, but now that we have some videography capacity, perhaps we can do it. We've put one of our members as an adjunct member of the bicentennial group. He's there to spy on you and to find...
Who is it?
Art Zapolsky.
Oh.
He's there from TAB. He is supposed to be...
He's now vice chairman.
Coming...
He's no longer a spy.
He's no longer
a spy. He actually...
He actually has a position.
He caved in, huh? Yeah. Good. I wasn't sure he was going to do that. But anyway, we obviously would like to play some role in this as you see fit. More stuff on traffic. We may, in fact, be able to work something with the Doylestown Historical Society. I think I've spoken before. We have an excellent video on Guile, but they have lots of other stuff in the vault, and we need to work on our relationship with them to improve that. One suggestion that was made to us is that we consider a video for potential new residents in the community who could go to the website and get some introduction to Doylestown Township.
Yep.
So that's a video that we'd like to put some energy into. We also think we need to do more with emergency management stuff that is tailored to this place as opposed to just generic for the county. We hope to continue to expand the program offerings on the website. We think that's a good way for people to get at things. Ryan, as our liaison, has pointed out the example in her own foundation, how positive this has been for her, and so she's helping us down that path. And we are going to set a little higher goal for ourselves. We hope to get to 80% of non-billboard content in this coming year on average. We have a high definition resident usage survey that's on our list of things to do. We have a deferred negotiation with Comcast coming up in about 2 years' time, for which we will have to do a usage survey for high definition, and it will help us to define what our new system will be capable of doing. We will put a high definition system in the new building. The question is whether we will be able to transmit to the TV world in high definition. We want to continue to work on social media, and obviously our technical operations will be mostly focused on moving first to temporary quarters and then to permanent space, but there's always things to fix, things to refine, etc. So I think that's all the formal presentation. If anyone has any questions, we're happy to answer them.
Awesome job, Ed. Everything you do.
I have one question. When you look at that list of projects, that's a lot of work. So how do you no? I'm just curious how the committee goes through and prioritizes that stuff. That's an ambitious list. That's incredible.
Well, the Who We Are series are actually very straightforward. We do them in this building. We do them around the table in the back.
You guys have
so some things we can do pretty straightforward way.
Right now.
But it's the stuff that are outside that we can't do. So if you have videography skills, Ken. If you have videography skills, we
No,
need
no.
you.
They get it done. Every meeting we walk into, there's more and more accomplished.
Good thing you're the liaison.
That's right.
Yeah.
Is there something
Thank
going
you.
on that I missed here?
Any other questions?
Question, that's what's going on.
Thank you. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Thanks, Ed.
Good job.
Thank you.